One of the things traditionally that we've worked with in motivational interviewing is this concept of rolling with resistance. And resistance never was understood as a personality trait of the individual. It was always sort of put out there as a dynamic that happens between two people and has a two-way street. One of the things that Miller and Rolnick introduced into counseling was, when resistance is there, for the therapist to take responsibility for not increasing it. In other words, there are some proven strategies that we can utilize that often can decrease the level of resistance or interpersonal tension or discord in the room through simply reflecting to people, emphasizing personal control and responsibility, trying to work hard to come alongside people to show them that we're trying to see the world or their situation as they see it. And then subtly shifting focus sometimes when you come to a complete dead end with somebody, to take a slight turn, just to move away from the topic as opposed to come to a therapeutic impasse with somebody. Actually, resistance is like any other feeling or thought that somebody might have when put in a position about changing something they don't want to change. They could be reluctant, they could be confused, they could be scared, they could be worried, they could be ashamed, they could be resistant. There's a whole host of thoughts and feelings that could be going on. So one of the things that Teresa Moyers has encouraged us to take a look at is, in regards to the relationship between the client and the helper, what could be going on? What could be getting in the way? And the word that they've come up with is discord. Is that discord seems to more accurately reflect the relational component.
In working with Māori, there is that, there are some that sort of have that, well, confrontation works, you know, put it in their face, let them have their sort of awakening, and then they'll sort of take it from there. My experience has been reflective listening validates their perception. They feel heard, which is often an experience maybe they haven't had, and it offers the ability to give that mirror for them to see their own journey and gain a different perspective, which is the confronting element. So you don't need to say, you don't need to explicitly point out the areas of Māori, the areas of their life that are, you know, sort of dysfunctional or not working, and offering that reflective listening and offering a mirror. They get to see it without judgment and without me actually pointing the finger.
Like I said, when you first came in, we are the experts in helping people to stop drinking, make changes in their use. You've told me today about how much you're drinking and the effects that it's having on your life, but what I'm really concerned about is how much you're drinking and that you actually need to stop, and you need some help to stop.
Okay.
Well, resistance it can be that ambivalence under pressure. It can be that I feel two ways about something, and I don't know how to resolve that, so a way is then to be resistant to having to resolve it. It can be that I don't know how to make changes, and so the resistance is easier to live with than trying to work out possible changes. But resistance can also be produced from the relationship with the practitioner, so that if I, as a practitioner, at even the most basic, don't be respectful with my client, I'm likely to incur resistance.
You're not convinced at the moment, I understand that. And
you know, convince me, because, you know, I kind of want to be.
Sure. Well, it's not up to me to convince you, because this is your life and this is your story, and you've got to walk your life, and I can't walk your life for you. I can only walk my own. And so, but I can walk with you on this life to try and think about, because I've no interest in actually you falling over and going back into a lifestyle of crime, because I know where it'll take you. And I'm hearing it with your relationship, who's going to take your relationship too. Because you said before that Fiona's got the bottom line drawn pretty clearly.
With clients who become very monosyllabic, it's not that they're particularly resistant to anything, but they don't have an experience of talking about feelings or about options for different actions. And so the whole world for them is just really closed down into something which is, it's very difficult for them to even perceive that there might be options, perceive that there might be alternative actions. And so you, the counsellor, are trying to open up the possibilities, and you engage in a discussion with them, and all you get back is the grunt. And so it requires a different kind of patience, really, as you just work with grunts and you just take time and you become, you reflect what you think the grunts might mean, and sometimes you get responses and sometimes you don't, but you persevere with it until you're really trying to tune yourself into the client, to try and think, what are the anxieties that they're feeling, how does it relate to the experience that you know that they've been through, and you use that just to try to begin to open them up, and you're trying to open them up to the possibilities of change.
What have you been thinking about over the last little while about getting your life back on track? Because I noticed you've...
I've been thinking about how easy it would be to deal P again.
Yep.
I mean, I've been thinking about how I could actually set myself up the right way, doing that the wrong way.
Sure. So what I'm picking up is that's a life that you know a lot about, and you can make lots of money and set yourself up well. What's the other side? Because I guess when I talk to guys like yourself who've done time, often are thinking about actually, maybe life can be a bit different. So I'm wondering where you're at with the kind of thinking
well,
about.
at the end of, you know, that last week inside, I had that kind of, okay, what's next buzz? And, you know, it just doesn't work out here.
Okay.
I don't have I don't know what that is.
Sure. So life on the outside is pretty different than the kind of the expectation of life on the inside. So I'm picking up.
It's worse.
Well, in regards to questions, I guess it's open questions anyway are your opener. They're your beginner, your starter, to get people going, to get people talking about something that you think is going to be useful, opening them up. And in that sense, I think what you do is you convey quite a sense of interest, sense of curiosity, and if you have genuine interest in that person, and that's my belief anyway, that'll come through in your question. You know, I think it's an attitude. When you're questioning somebody with an open style, you want to actually genuinely want to hear whatever they've got to say. You want to be able to convey that I'm here to hear whatever you've got to tell me, you know, and I'm interested in that. And if you don't have that, then you're not going to actually be able to build the rapport that you want. You know, and if a person feels that you're really interested in them and what it is they've got to say, they'll be, I suppose, comforted enough, they'll have enough rapport with you to sort of, you know, bring things out of themselves that you hope that they didn't know they thought or believed. You know, especially if you're going for some of the questions around possibilities for the future or things they've done in the past that might help them in the future.
So when you stop breastfeeding, that's when you start, and you talk about easing the pain. Can you tell me a bit about that, what that's about?
The pain?
Yeah.
It's, I guess I've suffered depression since I was about 13.
Okay.
So most of my teenage years and adult life.
Talking about your sister.
Yeah.
So you're talking about how she says, you know, get over it and pull yourself out of it, all of that kind of stuff. How is that for you?
It can be pretty hurtful. I guess it's the tough love stuff. It's not really working, it's not really helpful.
So being tough about this doesn't help you? No.
No.
Okay. Okay.